Might not always feel like it right now, but baseball season is here. Welcome to This Week in Purdue Baseball. I'm Kyle Charters with the SID Ben Turner and the guest, as always, the head baseball coach of the Purdue Boilermakers, Greg Goff. Yes, while it might feel like it right this very minute that it's finally warmed up a little bit, we'll actually hit 50 degrees in West Lafayette this week. Man, it's been a cold winter, but believe it or not, you guys will head south to Texas to open up the season this weekend. You've got to be excited to get away from the weather up here, head down south, and play a little baseball outside.
You know, we are, Kyle. It has been, since I've been here, this has been, one of the toughest winters. But, it is what it is. I mean, the season's going to start whether you get outside or not. And so we're really excited about getting down to Texas and having an opportunity to get in some short sleeves and start our season. We really are. The guys have really worked hard over the last month.
You guys have been practicing for a month, not very frequently outside. I'm sure your message to the team has been to not use that as an excuse, but it is challenging. I mean, you'll go down to play Portland this weekend in 3 games at Constellation Field in Sugar Land, Texas, and you're going to get down there early, get some time in on the field, try to work out a little bit outside. But the key early in the season here is to just get outside and get used to playing outdoor baseball.
It is, I mean, it's you just can't simulate fly balls. You can't simulate, ground balls on the dirt. But like I told our team, you got to make the most of what it is. It's the situation that we're in. Make the most of it, and we're ready. We'll be ready to go. You got to throw strikes. You got to play some good defense and have some timely hitting. That first weekend. So we've been pretty successful getting off to a good start down there at Constellation Field, and looking forward to getting down there and seeing everybody.
And at the very least, everybody is in the same boat as far as the rough winter. I mean, that storm hit everybody from Texas up through Mid-Atlantic and into New England. So it's not just north of Indianapolis and us and Northwestern and schools like that. Everybody got it. We were in the same boat. That makes me feel a little bit better, at least. Meanwhile,
Portland didn't get it. Portland's been outside.
Yes,
Portland's been outside.
We are coast
Portland's
to coast
out. I've been watching their weather every day. They've been outside a lot, man.
Okay, so first up, Portland, no doubt. But I know Houston got ice, so
Yeah.
the Rice Owls, who were on this trip as well,
That's
same
right.
deal for a couple days. Anyways, 7-game, 11-day road trip in Texas to open the season. So you're staying down there, playing Rice on Wednesday after Portland, and then the Round Rock Classic weekend number 2. Man, talk about a loaded field: Southern Miss, Baylor, Oregon State. Back in 2022, during that 15-0 start, similar road trip in North Carolina, went 8-0. I'm maybe not expecting you to go undefeated this time, considering the gauntlet ahead.
Right.
But there is a precedent for having done this and having had success.
It is. That was a great trip. And I just felt like when we did that, doing this again would be something that would really get us prepared as the season goes along. And so I asked our administration and Dr. Howard, and he was great about supporting it. And so, having an opportunity to pick up Rice midweek was a huge deal. The history of that program, and then having an opportunity to, go to a really big tournament, probably the second biggest tournament in college baseball. And so having an opportunity to be invited to that and go down there was just something that we, couldn't turn down. And really, man, I'm really excited to get down there and be a part of that week too.
Practiced at Rice's Reckling Park last year before that opening series in Sugar Land, so I have seen that facility recently. Meanwhile, it's the 5th straight year you're opening in Sugar Land, 14-2 at Constellation Field. It's a AAA ballpark there, home of the Astros AAA team, the Sugar Land Space Cowboys. So very comfortable there, and they treat us like gold there. It's an amazing facility and setup. However, this year, new deal, you just mentioned them briefly, the Portland Pilots from the West Coast, first time that we'll have a West Coast opponent for that first team that you're taking on.
No doubt, and I can't say enough about the folks that, Constellation Field, man. You've been a part of it, Kyle. I mean, it's a second home for us, That's why we continue to go down there and continue to play teams down there, is because it makes us feel at home. And can't say enough about Don and those guys for getting the locker rooms ready for us. And this year, it's a little different. We've got Portland coming in for a big series, and then next year we got BYU coming in. So a couple of West Coast teams the next couple of years that have decided to come and play us.
New season, new excitement. You're in an era where the transfer is big, obviously, but when you look at your team, certainly you've got a number of new guys in there, but you've got a lot of veterans back, too, from the team last year, guys like Eli Anderson, C.J. Richmond, Aaron Manius, Cole Van Assen, and some others. So when you look at sort of the heart of your group, they're guys that you're familiar with, and then you've used the transfer portal to supplement those guys and done that well. Just you have to like sort of that mix, right, of having some of those, especially in the lineup.
Right.
Those top of the order, middle of the order guys are guys that are familiar to you, familiar to Purdue, familiar to the travel schedule.
Right.
And I think that really helps, and it's got to be a reason why you feel like you can make a big jump this year.
I do, Kyle. I really do. I would feel so fortunate that those guys, in this crazy transfer portal world, that all those guys, stayed and wanted to be a part of something special this year. So, having CJ and Aaron and Eli and Brandon Rogers and all those guys back makes a huge difference. You can't put a price tag on experience. You see most teams in today being successful in college, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, they're old, so having those guys, familiar with what we're doing, having a continuity of what we're doing makes a big difference.
When you look at some preseason projections, you see some typical teams up there at the top. You have an opportunity, I think, and I think you probably like this, of maybe sneaking up on some people this year and sort of like the positioning where you might be included in a group of teams that have a chance but are being overlooked. You like that position that you're in, that maybe you don't have the target on your back and can go sneak up on some teams.
Right, I do. And I told the guys this week, it wasn't about proving other people wrong, but proving us right.
Yeah.
We believe we're good. We believe we have a chance to compete in the Big Ten. We believe that, and so just kind of switch the mentality a little bit this year, in the fact of having a bunch of older guys and things like that. To hey, we need to prove that we're right about how we are and where our program is and in the direction that we're going.
And a very veteran, experienced arm on Friday nights for you, Cole Van Assen, longest tenured member of the program now. Man, he finished the season strong last year. 2.67 ERA over 30 innings in the second half from April 5th to May 10th. And to have him headlining your group of returnees has to feel good.
It does, Ben. I mean, I tell you, just that's one of the reasons why I do what I do. I love coaching, but seeing a young man like him come in and develop into what he has is awesome to see. His maturity, he's been great. He's been a great leader for us this fall and spring. And you know what you're going to get when you put Cole out there. He's going to be consistent. He's going to pound the zone. You're going to have to play good defense behind him, but he'll give you a chance to win. And just very, very blessed to have him leading our staff this year.
Looking at the lineup and potential ways that you could configure it, jumped out at me left-handed bats. We might have the most bevy of left-handed bats that I can remember during your tenure. Obviously starting with Manius and Richmond, Eli Anderson, Sergio DiCello is a switch hitter, and then some of the newcomers like Sam Flores, Dylan Drake, Jimmy Gion. Those guys are all left-handed hitters. So, I mean, you could go really deep against a right-handed pitcher with almost a full lineup of lefties if you wanted to.
Right. There's no doubt, and it's great competition. But we do, we felt like we had to bring in some left-handed hitting, and so we did. I think Casarado did a great job of doing that and finding the right guys for us. So we do. But we have a lot of different options. We have a number of guys that we can go left or right, and I feel very fortunate that, we have some depth, with our position players.
After CVA, you brought in some other guys who've got some Division I experience to fill out both your starting rotation over the weekend and, take up some pretty important spots in the bullpen as well. Who are some guys, newcomers that we should look to fill in some good spots behind Cole Van Assen?
Well, we brought in a number of guys. Jake Kramer's a guy that was All-American in Division II last year. You'll definitely see him having a huge role, whether it's middle or close late in the game. Zach Erdman, transfer from Texas Tech. Jarvis Evans coming in from South Carolina with SEC experience. A number of those guys we feel like are going to, kind of get the brunt of our pitching this spring.
Yeah, and you've got some of those newcomers too. Austin Klug pitched well for you late last year. Gavin Buter had some injury issues, but when he was out there healthy, really pitched well for you. So it seems like you do have some depth there at the back end, probably, as teams always are this time of year, trying to find some roles for some guys and where they fit in. But you have to feel comfortable with just the sheer numbers that you have in the bullpen and guys who are capable.
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest thing last year, we ran into a couple guys getting hurt, and our depth really hurt us down the road and late in the year. And so, we have a lot of, we feel like we have 15 or 16 guys, and 12 of those 16 are really, really competitive, and the rest of them will give us a shot. We got some great young freshmen too. We just, with Buter back and Austin Klug back, and then Graham Cullen, we bring him in as a transfer. Just a number of guys that we have, and now, like I said, the freshmen that we have. Tro Fellings has been really good for us. Noah Fowler has been great for us, and Lucas Grant. Those guys have been really solid. And Weston Boyle's another freshman that's a position player for us. That don't be surprised if you don't see him in there as well. I mean, we have got a really good older staff, but we also got some good young players I think is going to contribute.
Year 2 jump. We've seen that over the last half decade or so of guys that are here in that second year, whether they came in as freshmen or transfers, and then that second year is where they really take off. I guess I would look at Avery Moore and Brandon Rogers among that group. We saw what B-Raj can do defensively last year, but he was streakier at the plate. Moore didn't get as many chances last year, but really looked good in the fall from what I saw. So those two would headline that group for me of guys that could be that candidate for the year 2.
Yes. No doubt. I mean, it's just that it's amazing how that second year, Connor Cascanet and Joe Stevens and some of those guys a couple of years ago, were seniors and led us to a really, really good year. We expect the same thing from B-Raj and Avery and Aaron and all those guys, but those two guys especially, we feel like have got year 2. Here and feel like, and hopefully, will play well for us this spring.
Tell us a little bit more about Kramer. He's the unique situation that he's a multiple-year D2 All-American.
Yep. Moves
up to, now the Big Ten and D1 level. He's going to be on the Stopper of the Year preseason watch list, deservedly so. He's got nearly 30 career saves. We saw it last year with Michael Vallone. He ends up winning the team's pitching triple crown, moving up from D3 DePauw to Purdue. Pitching can translate.
It does.
Now, they are very vastly different pitchers, though, as I understand it.
They are, but it does. I mean, the biggest thing from both of those guys is that probably out of high school, they probably wasn't ready for this level, and they went over and they worked extremely hard and got a lot better. And that's what I love about this game being is, a kid can change from 17 to 21, 22 years old. And we'll miss old Michael. I wish we had old Mike back. He was great for us last year. But, Jake is a really competitive guy. He wants the ball. He's not afraid of the situation. He's been there before. And when he comes in, our team really rallies around him and really gets excited, which is awesome to have.
Who is in charge of your schedule this year? You've got
guy.
Portland, a good squad, coming this weekend down to Texas. Rice, Southern Miss, Baylor, Oregon State, all in non-conference. I know you don't control your Big Ten slate, but you look at that Big Ten slate, man, a lot of those teams that we're going to be playing are ones that are in the top half or projected to be in the top half of the Big Ten. The good thing is if you win games, as you've done the last couple of years, your RPI will be there, and then come Selection Sunday, you'll be there for the NCAA tournament. But, man, it gets started quickly for you this year.
It does, and that was one thing, just looking back at it, we probably, we felt like we're in a position where we needed to, play some better competition early before the Big Ten conference play, and so that's what we did. And again, we got invited to go to the tournament, and we picked up Rice because we decided to stay there, and so forth. So it's just it's a time. It's time to do that, and it's time to play some really good competition early and see how we are. I just didn't know that Mother Nature wasn't going to cooperate with us and not get us outside this spring as earlier before. But we'll be ready. We're excited.
Hopefully it'll cooperate with us in March. We've got some home games coming up next month. But before we go, tell us a little bit more about the Pilots. It's a good program from the Pacific Northwest.
It is, Kyle. Really good. And 2 years ago they went to a regional. Last year they were kind of like us a couple of years ago where they brought a bunch of junior college guys and some transfers in, and they were first year. So this year's year 2 for them. And so I'm telling you, they are really good. They got some great arms. Their offense is really good. I've been watching them for about 3 weeks now, so I'm ready to play them. But they will be very competitive. They're very well coached. They're a lot like the West Coast. They'll control the running game and play good defense, and got some really good arms that we're going to face. They beat Oregon twice last year, and they're really good.
We'll do this podcast all season long. It'll release midweek on PurdueSports.com and on social media channels as well. We'll talk to some players throughout the season. Also, Coach, I'm excited. Best of luck this weekend. Let's get off to a good start.
Well, we're excited too. We're ready to get down to Texas. But I also wanted to wish old Ben here a happy birthday. Tomorrow's his birthday, and he turns, I think, 19. So looking better every day. But just want to wish you a happy birthday, Ben, and what you do for us means a lot. But we're excited, looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right, until next week, the Boilermakers will be down at Constellation Field in Sugar Land as the opener against the Portland Pilots. That'll do it for us for now. For Ben Turner, Greg Goff, and Kyle Charters, this is This Week in Purdue Baseball.